Have you seen any person with disability selling product? Maybe. Today I am going to tell you some life stories of vendors with disability. Today you are going to know about some vendors who are having disabilities but living lives just like everyone else. Hello everyone, I am Suman. I conducted a research on train vendors and street vendors with visual impairment. These terms might be sounding quite strange, but we'll come over there. My research was a part of my course MA in Development at Azim Premji University. So street vendors or train vendors means the people who sell products in and around platforms, in and around busy streets, whom we see often while commuting, while traveling, wherever we go. But we might not have seen people with disabilities, or in this case people with blindness selling kind of products, where my study was on those vendors. So my research location was Kolkata, in and around Kolkata to be very specific. So when I am telling you people with disabilities or people with visual impairment selling some kind of products, so you can imagine a person holding several products. Now what kind of products they are selling, that's a question. Usually the people whom I met are selling agarbattis, soap, cosmetics, lottery, but there is a majority selling agarbatti. So you can imagine a person, it's up to you to thinking about their face and holding some kind of products, let's say agarbatti, holding stick on the other hand, moving around. This is just to give a picture of this, but there are many vendors. As there are many vendors, so there are many pictures, many imaginations. So when I talk about research, of course there will be research objectives. One of the research objective I was having is highlighting or bringing forward the abilities of people with disabilities. So whenever we look or whenever we think of people with disabilities, we often think of our challenges. We often get stuck talking about issues, but there is another side to this, and that's our abilities, our empowerment, our lives. So this podcast comes to you to highlight certain abilities or the good things, good practices what we are doing. After the objectives, of course there will be research questions. Those questions may be coming broadly in these 4 themes: procurement, customer attraction, challenges, and the way forward. Now the very crucial point, the people, what is called research participant otherwise. But in this research there was no researcher or research participants as such. We were friends. I went along with them. I went around, moved around. We talked a lot. We interacted a lot. We had a lot of fun overall. But in having fun, we also got our things done. So in meeting people, I met some older people, let's say older vendors, who are having blindness. Let's say they are around mid-30s or more than 40. Of course, they will be having more experiences. More than that, they have shared so many insights which are getting highlighted in this podcast. So I'd like to thank all the people whoever supported me to this research, whoever shared their insights for this research. This one was a qualitative research where the method was in-depth interview. Yet, apart from the interviews, it was more of ethnographic, I would say, because I was with them when they were moving around. I mean, my friends, the vendors. I in fact sat with them quiet, listening to them, what are they talking, watching them, what are they doing. So it was more of ethnographic. Overall, I interviewed 11 people, 10 vendors and 1 distributor. All of them are having blindness. The younger people don't look for this kind of job, or they are more into looking for jobs in the government sector, in the private sectors, of course mostly in the government, as we get to see. Then there are some people who have realized in the course of their lives that the jobs are few and the qualifications they are having don't match the jobs requirements. So somewhere they have felt that jobs are not for them, and simultaneously this vendor job is the only option. So these vendors are doing this job with a sense of compulsion, In fact, 2 people told me that there is no future to this work. Yeah, because it's part of the informal economy, so it's more likely there will be a lot of challenges, there will be a lot of things. So my point was not only looking about how they are ended up at this level being the vendors. My point is also around how are they moving around, how are they doing their jobs. Because if I tell you the first part, that those challenges and those compulsions, you will be thinking that only that part exists. Broadly, if I have to speak, many of the people, let's say in the informal economy, where people are working day in and day out just for some wages, I think if I go beyond that disability and ability spectrum, many people are only working out of compulsions. So those things are already there. But simultaneously, what else? What the good things are they up to? Also to give you a glimpse of how the vendors with blindness are vendors with blindness. I mean, how do they do? How do they go around? How do they sell? How do they procure things? And blah blah. So first I'll come to the procurement point. Here you go. Let's first hear Veena.
আমি বিনা, আমি धूपकाठी और फिनाइलेर कारोबार करी। धूपकाठी यानी कि अगरबत्ती, और ट्रेन में अगरबत्ती बेचती हूँ, घर में खुद बना के। मैं बड़े बड़े दुकान में अगरबत्ती सप्लाई करती हूँ। इस तरह फिनाइल बना के दुकान में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती हूँ। इसके अलावा मैं खाना बनाती हूँ, गायों को पलती हूँ और भी बहुत कुछ।
Veena buys raw materials from Bada Bazar, Kolkata, compiles those at her home, gets finished products, and then her selling job is giving it to the distributors in the local shops and selling in trains, platforms. So she gets the crucial things like oil, the sticks from Bada Bazar, mix things on her own, the measurements, the quality, the quantity. Then after making the agarbattis, she packs it in some packets. So there are a lot of assembly level works involved in this. So in Veena's case, Veena is procuring the things, preparing it and selling it across. In another case, Rahul
পেন আছে পেন, পরিবেশ বান্ধব পেন, একটা করে 10, দুটো করে 10, বিভিন্ন রকমের সেন্টের ধূপকাঠিগুলো নিয়ে যান। এই বেনগুলো লেখার শেষে মাটিতে বসালে এক ধরনের চারা গাছ হয় যা আমাদের অক্সিজেন দিতে সাহায্য করে।
He is just a seller. He is just a vendor. Rahul is a student, by the way. So I have told you that most of the people I have met are older. Rahul is on the other side. He's a student. When I was doing this research, he was a part-time vendor kind of. He was doing it for his pocket money. The thing to be highlighted here is Rahul just gets the finished products from the distributors and he sells those across. Now here is a distributor. I want to also make you hear one distributor who also has blindness. He is Dhananjay.
मैं धनंजय हूँ। मैं एक अगरबत्ती डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हैं। मैं घर पे अगरबत्ती तैयारी करके सबको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं और कई सारे लोग जैसे कि देखने वाले और नहीं देखने वाले सभी मुझसे अगरबत्ती ले जाते हैं। हफ्ते में एक बार मैं उनसे मिलती हूँ। कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि किसी के पास अगर पैसा ना भी हो मैं उन्हें भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करता हूँ। बाद में वो मुझे पैसा लौटा देते हैं।
Yeah, in short, we have just met three people. One is doing all the parts on her own. She is Veena. One is only a seller. He is Rahul. And one is a distributor. He is Dhananjay. Now, with your permission, I'll go to the next part. Next point, the customer attraction. Oh, before that, I want to tell you the customer reactions, and you have to listen to this. So customer reactions are of various kinds, various types of people in this world. So do the reactions. I would like to highlight two interactions, two instances happened when Rahul and I were moving around selling agarbattis. Both the stories are more or less same. Two people, I don't want to disclose any other specification. Let's say two people, they bought our products. First one said, I have enough products at home, but because you people are selling, I think I should buy from you people, so I am buying. But her tone was little bit of as if she is very kind. That says there is a much of kindness out of which the product is being bought. In other case, we also got a remark, but that remark was, yeah, I know these people get trained somewhere and make this agarbatti, and they are also doing a good job being vendors. So here is the point. In this second case, we were told that we are getting trained somewhere. Yeah, there are some training centers. We are vendors and we are doing a good job. So the last point, no, good job, it actually takes across. Out of these two narrations, we can come to think of two things. One, some customers are buying things out of kindness, out of sympathy. Some buyers are buying out of an awareness they are having or with a goodwill. Now the interesting fact is, I have asked many people about this first instance, that buying out of sympathy. So many people say whatever it is, it may be demeaning, but also in other side it's also an encouragement. They are buying it, and more importantly, all are this contributing to their sales after all. Now the customer attractions. Of course, there are a lot of visual cues when we are moving around. In the beginning, we were imagining that one person holding some products, holding a cane or stick. So when we are holding a stick and moving around, people are already getting to know that there is a person having blindness, coming around, moving around, holding some products, it means he or she would be a vendor. I mean, we don't think and don't analyze in this way, the way I am saying now, but at somewhere, just by seeing or just by hearing, we get to understand many things. So that's why the point is here, the things are already visible, and then some of the vendors say a lot of catchy things. Even many sighted vendors also say many things, so this is not something to be highlighted. But one I have noticed or I have learned from one of the older vendor, Sharbani. Here she is.
मैं शर्बानी दास, मैं पिछले 22 सालों से साबुन, अगरबत्ती, फिनाइल बेचता हूँ। बिजनेस चलता है बातों से, जितना अच्छा से लोगों को समझा पाओगे उतना ही प्रॉफिट होगा।
Yeah, she says business goes by talking, or it's on convincing people. As much as you can convince the customers, so much they will be attracted to the products. So there is a good amount of talking and wordings involved in this. That's good. So this was one of the great thing. And here is one of the greatest thing. Winning customers' trust as a point of attraction. I would want you to listen to this person direct. And in fact, I want to take a pause. So here is our Shambhu. He sells lottery. He has been selling it, I think, for 10 to 15 years. Okay, I won't say much. Let's hear from him. Here is our Shambhu.
मैं शंभू, बहुत दिन से मैं लॉटरी टिकट बेचता हूँ। सिर्फ बेचता नहीं हूँ, कोशिश करता हूँ हर रात मेरा ख़रीदार का जो टिकट नंबर है वो मिलकर उस लोगों का जो प्राइस है वो काउंटर से लेकर हैंड ओवर करना। इसीलिए मेरे आसपास का जो लोग हैं वो मुझसे ही टिकट खरीद करते हैं, मुझे बहुत विश्वास भी करते हैं। मेरे आसपास का जो लोग मुझसे टिकट खरीद करते हैं उस लोगों का नाम या टिकट नंबर मुझे याद रखना आसान है। मेरा ख़रीदार मुझे बहुत भालोबासे। वो लोग बोलते हैं कि तुम बहुत कष्टों करते हो, भीख नहीं मांग रहा हो बाकी ब्लाइंड जैसे।
Shambhu has gained a lot of trust from the people he is surrounded with. People like him, love him. That's great. The term you have noticed, bhalobasa, bhalobase, that actually is around love in Bengali. So people love him so much, people encourage him. So people have a trust on his work and the way he gives his facilities. And on top of it, as he ends, people love him partly because he is not a beggar. He is a vendor. He is earning his money just like everyone else. That is another point to highlight here. People often think that the people with disabilities only beg and they are the beggars. It is not the fault of the people because we are seeing many beggars, especially in trains or bus, more often than we are seeing the vendors or the people like me or any person with disabilities thriving at their abilities, like the bankers, let's say government employees, and the para-swimmers, paralytics, many others who are achieving many good things even if we are people with disabilities. That's the point. There are many people who are not the beggars, who are living, earning money, and more importantly, living with dignity. Moving on, coming to the challenges point. Broadly, there are 3 challenges can be drawn out of the research I was doing. First one is identifying the notes and coins. So for a person with blindness, if something is more of tactile, it will be automatically accessible. Earlier, the notes and coins were bigger in size. Nowadays, the notes and coins we are having have very less tactile signs to distinguish. Of course, there is this bleeding line, there are many other shapes that people often say, which are supposed to be a marker for people with blindness to understand those notes, but those are not prominently tactile, and when the note gets older, it becomes even more tough to understand. So identifying notes is very problematic. For the vendors with blindness, it becomes even tough. I'll tell you why. Many other people with blindness can use the online method, can use an app called Money. That app is actually made by RBI for identifying money. It's there on the Play Store. But for vendors with blindness, it becomes tougher, where every penny counts. So where transaction is more on the notes and coins, where every penny counts, we being a vendors with blindness are unable to identify the notes properly. It becomes a major challenge, isn't it? What we do, the vendors often ask the customers, in fact many customers also read out the notes when they are handing it, but again trusting them to ensure that the note is given rightly or not is tough. That's why it has come under the challenge point. Another challenge is getting threatened by the police personnel and other fellow vendors. I've met some people, take Sharwani for instance. She sells things on a crowded overbridge where police personnel often come and tell her to vacate the place. Yeah, it's very disturbing, isn't it? I am selling something or I am doing something, all of a sudden somebody is coming and asking me to go off. How dare! But it happens, and those threats are actually a challenge. Then another challenge. It's quite interesting, by the way. I would like to call it as casualty. Being unable to see around is often involved hitting things. And not only hitting, many accidents have also even occurred. I can tell you several stories where people fell on the rail lines. It's truly unthinkable, but it happens. So it also on the level of mobility we have, but sometimes, as I say, it's a casualty, accident and things happen. So vendors with blindness fell on the rail lines, hit lampposts and many other things, some stitches happened, some vendors even couldn't go for their work, they had to take rest. So many casualty happen, and one is, like I said, it happens even if we are pretty much aware of, even if we have mobility. But if we have mobility, we can reduce it to a significant extent. And then the structural barriers also matter. The yellow line, the gap between train and railway platform are very significant. Nowadays there is a good improvement. The platforms are being renovated very nicely. Yeah, there are some platforms are yet to be done, but some of the platforms are renovated very nicely. The yellow line has been marked. The gap between railway platform and train is reduced significantly. These things are actually helping us to be moving around more confidently, more independently. Now the way forward. So after discussing the challenges and how we are dealing with, I would like you to listen to a perspective coming from Sharwani.
असुविधा तो बहुत है। असुविधा को लेके दुख करने से, चुपचाप बैठने से बेकार है। हमको भी तो काम करना ही है, हमको भी आगे जाना है। जितना हम कर पाएंगे उतना करने का कोशिश करना है।
Yeah, हमको भी आगे बढ़ना है. We too have to move forward. We are moving forward as well, by the way. We are moving forward in life and we are moving forward on this podcast as well. So here is coming the final part, the way forward. This podcast gives you a glimpse of vendors with blindness who are selling agarbatti, selling lottery, procuring products. So to highlight, vendors with blindness are doing things, earning money just like every other vendor, just like everyone else. Yeah, of course, we might be taking little bit of more support, but overall we are doing things, we are earning money. But many people might not have come across these vendors, and that's where this podcast comes to all of you, to all the people, whoever is willing to know more. First we have to know, we have to be aware of things, and then only we'll be able to move forward, isn't it? Knowing is the first stage, but it is crucial. Let's say one beggar with blindness is begging and one vendor with blindness is selling product at the same place. Apparently the beggars will get more money than the seller. So that's why I like these vendors who are living those easy earning jobs, who are just showing the thumb finger to the others that we too can live life just like everyone else. We too can live life with dignity, with self-respect, with independence. We have discussed a lot about the challenges and disabilities of people with disabilities. Let's also highlight some abilities as well, at least to set the balance, if not to empower. So let's highlight the abilities and strengths of every person. That brings end to this podcast. Thank you. A special thanks to Radio Uran for hosting this video on its YouTube channel, and to all of my dear listeners. Thank you to each one of you. Thank you for your patience, time and enthusiasm. Thank you.